Did you know that here, in this seldom mentioned city in the middle of England, some of the nation's great accomplishments and claims to fame were born? Not only was one of England's kings buried here and forgotten around 500 years ago under a car park, there once lived a man with legs so fat that he kept prisoners from escaping. What's more, DNA fingerprinting technology actually began here at the university, helping keep confined some of the nation's biggest losers, while daily they try and evade a bumming from Big Dave. Have you guessed where we are yet? That's right, viewers. Today, we are in Leicester. We're going to head to our first location, which is called New Walk. It's a pretty beautiful place, actually. I only just discovered it last week. And New Walk, from what I know, is about 200 years old, and it's completely pedestrianised. In fact, the police like to nab people using e-bikes there. Some of the only police work they do in Leicester. Apparently here they used to do horse racing a long time ago. And New Walk was the way that they brought the horses and they walked them up this like long pathway to bring them up here to race. He's doing the Queen's Wave. Pretty picturesque. I mean, if you look at it, it's kind of what I imagine Boston, Massachusetts, or like New York to be like. Alright, this very Romanesque building is the Museum of Leicester. Pretty interesting place if you want to learn about Leicester. It's very Roman looking, with these proper chubby looking columns. I've just stopped to take a break here. We're on London Road. I'm here smoking a pancake, and I'm drinking a very 80s drink because I think it's good for the musculars. It's going to keep my strength up. It's beginning to look a lot like cocktails. It's not one I've heard before. Now, I might have said at one point in a video that Leicester's quite a peaceful city, but I don't know why. For one reason or another, maybe these guys have been playing too much Need for Speed, or they've watched all 10 Fast and Furious movies. But there's a lot of like souped up cars, as my mum would say. Fast and Furious Leicester. Could be an interesting movie, to be fair. I mean, you could be racing to the next samosa spot. There's one of those new Renault 5s. Bro, I've not seen one of those yet. Another thing is, like, over my shoulder, this killer prawns place. There's a lot of prawn places here. I don't know why. I didn't know we were by the ocean. It looks very old and cool on the outside, and on the inside, it kind of looks a little bit old and dated, to be fair. But yeah, that's pretty much it. WH Smith. It's pretty much all there is to it. Like I was saying, it's not the most interesting, but it's the gateway where the journey started. It's the portal I was ejected from when I first came to Leicester. When you first come out of the station, right? I hadn't seen anything yet. First came out of the station and I saw this. I looked that way, I was like, not much. Looked that way and I thought exactly the same thing. So, considering it was a prospective place that I was going to come to live, this is lovely. I was thinking, oh my god, where have we come? But as soon as I started exploring, after about half an hour, I thought, you know what, actually it's got a vibe to it. It's actually pretty cool. That is your boy, Thomas Cook. Now, I know it's going to sound really stupid, but you could consider Leicester is actually the home of modern day tourism. That Thomas Cook himself actually created the first ever package holiday, and I think it was a train journey from Leicester to Loughborough. I know, I only recently learned that as well, which is wild, because I heard of Thomas Cook, but I never really put two and two together, so I didn't really think that is the Thomas Cook. I think it was his family anyway. I don't know if it was exactly him, but it was his family. My right hand is literally frozen.
What's your YouTube?
Huh?
What's your YouTube?
Baker Wild.
Baker Wild?
Yeah.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I just moved here like 6 weeks ago.
Oh really?
Yeah. I'm trying to make a video all around Leicester. Yeah, I know, I swapped from the big camera to the little camera.
Do you not have a stick?
Yeah, I left it at home though. I got another stick on here, otherwise there's too many. How's it going? You're right. Baker Wild.
Baker Wild?
Baker Wild, yeah.
Baker Wild?
No, Baker.
YouTube.
I'm gonna cross anyway. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy. Because that was pretty funny, because out of nowhere, these guys just come up to me, like one of them and then 3 of them and then 4 of them, like, yo, what's your YouTube? And then the other guy was like, how much money do you make? So I'm not making any money from it yet. Patience, patience, young one. We're gonna head towards the clock tower, which is a historic monumental clock, which usually, to be honest, is where people are trying to peddle stuff, and they're trying to sell courses on Jesus. They got all the Christmas markets set up, so it's not really how it normally looks, but adds a little bit of charm, especially if you fancy putting a massive sausage in your mouth. Must look like a really low budget YouTuber, because the kid said to me, haven't you got a stick? I was like, yeah, I got one right here. No, I was joking. I got another one. I don't want to be carrying 2 poles with me. And technically I'm walking around with 3 poles, you know what I mean? Here's the Grand Hotel. Which typically in a city is like one of the most bougie hotels. That one, I'm not so sure. I mean, it probably does charge a fair bit, to be honest. Getting some unusual looks. Let's keep it going. People here are nice anyway. I tell you what, when you've come from living in one of the bigger cities like London, and probably the same for Manchester and Birmingham, and then you come and see people here that are trying to look hard, trying to look like bad man, it's really not intimidating at all. People here are just a lot nicer, so I don't really think you have that to worry about. Guys, actually, I haven't seen any of this Christmas market shit yet.
There's a rat in my kitchen. What's
And you get a free carrier bag as well. Free carrier bag.
Free carrier bag.
Yeah, so I hope she sells something today. Get yourself a Ferrari jacket. Samosa. Oh, I'm very tempted actually. Big German sausage, yeah. Good lord. Pikachu lady. Hello.
You wanna buy one?
No, maybe next time. Alright guys, we've arrived in the centre. This is probably the most quiet you're actually going to see it. They put a Christmas tree up the other day. Apparently they had E17 down here on the Town Hall Square turning on the lights. I was here and I had 10 minutes left until the lights went on, and then I couldn't handle it any longer. It was too fucking cold. I don't know any history about the clock, so I can't really tell you anything interesting. There's no one selling anything today as well, which is kind of weird, but that looks like Henry VIII. This is the closest I've been to it, because they're usually selling Jesus, like I was saying. So yeah, pretty much people just use this clock as a way to like navigate. Is if you go up this way behind me, you've got like the market, and if you go down that way, you've got all of the celebrations of more like Christmas stalls. And if you go that way, you've got the bus station, and if you go that way, there's a lot of people doing crack. No, I'm joking. No, there actually is though, I don't know why. Typically there's a lot of people hanging out in this part of the city, but a lot of them are just kids, you know, like it's nothing to actually be worried about. Alright guys, we quickly popped over to the other side of Leicester because I wanted to show you this place. One of Leicester's other claims to fame is it's the UK's leading space programme. Since 1967 they've been sending things made in Leicester into space. I know, it's pretty crazy. So I have actually been in there. You could buy a ticket for 20 quid and then basically you got an annual pass. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool in there. It looks like I've got a massive thing on my head. And you can see all kinds of real space gear in there. Real astronaut's toilet with a pee-pee tube, and a real rocket which is inside that enclosure there, shaped like a massive tampon. We're more like north of the city centre now, so there's one more place I want to show you up here, and then I'm going to teleport back to around the centre. So here, only about 5-minute walk from the Space Centre, I've come to my favourite park in all of Leicester that I've visited so far. We are in Abbey Park. All these walls that you can see, they're from like a 12th century Abbey church that they used to have here apparently. This park just has such a chill vibe. I think the park itself is from like the 1800s. I come here with my dog all the time. I love this park. They even have like a cafe just over there that I'm pointing to. So it's nice though, formal gardens, it's a lot of nature. Guys, you see what I mean? Look how pretty it is. But this park, honestly, is so well kept, it's kind of crazy. Last time I was here, I accidentally kicked like a dead squirrel. It was a squirrel or a rat. It was like missing most of its identifying features. Do, 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 do. They got like a little pagoda thing. People come in here to usually read a book. How sick is that? I think that's a pagoda. I don't know. Come inside, sit on it. See, there's some major construction work going on. You can have a little sit down. It's got a pretty chill view all the way around. Probably in the spring or the summer it looks a lot nicer, but oh shit, I never noticed that. Look up there. So they got some Japanese frescoes. But yeah, pretty chill little Japanese garden. Maybe not the best craftsmanship, but I think you get the idea. In fact, that one is actually it's got leprosy or something. I think that one's got leprosy because it's falling apart. Oh, yeah, it's pretty nice. Japanese garden. I think we'll head to the cathedral and I can show you where they found the king under the car park. I think where there was a car park they were digging, and then they found some old shit, and then they dug further and they found some skeleton. Apparently it had a pretty skeleton had some battle wounds on it, and it had some pretty contorted spine. And somehow using, I don't know if it's DNA, but using some kind of DNA shit to check the ancestry, they managed to figure out that through the ancestry that it was King Richard III. Don't really know what he did that was so bad that they didn't feel like giving him a proper burial, but they ended up holding like a funeral for him, which is kind of strange because someone's died like 500 years ago and you give him a funeral. But yeah, he was kind of buried in quite an undignified way. Seems like he wasn't really valued at the time. I don't know if we know a lot about it, I'm not really a historian, but yeah, they basically just shoved him in this place, and they ended up finding him. But at least he had battle wounds, so he wasn't a pussy. At least he gave it a go on the battlefield. Here she is. This is the backside of the cathedral, and then this white buildings that's behind it, the Tudor style thing, is Guildhall, which I don't know what that is, but I think that's usually where important people more important than you and me, I think that's where they generally do their day job. It's pretty picturesque other than this Citroen van. Hang on. There you go. Even the door looks mega old. Alright, come with me. I can hear music, man. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's some gospel band or something going on. Where is that happening? So you can learn about Knights and the Guild. Knights and the Guild. Oh, it's actually a cafe. The cathedral. There he is, guys. The historic king of car parks in all his glory. I think you're supposed to like line this shit up with a clock, or you can get some kind of let's see if we can do it. Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Hey, look, here we've just got benches, and you just got tombstones just chilling there, and there's actually quite a lot of them. So you can just come and sit with the dead if you want to. engineering porn. It's a bit like London Eye, but Leicester Eye.
Well, we're in the castle. Yes. Yes, but it's not. It doesn't look like a castle.
No, but the church was a bit like
Yeah. So
Now we've arrived at what they call the castle, even though it doesn't really look like a castle. They call it Castle View. So due to the fact that Leicester is a university city, it means that it's got quite a young population. It's got a lot of old codgers as well, happily living out their lives. Check it out. It means there's quite a good selection of stuff to do, because there's a few universities. I think there's like Leicester University, I think there's like a business one, and there's one called de Montfort, which actually sounds kind of fancy. I don't really know what they study there. Because of that, there's plenty of places to get smashed if you want to, and there's plenty of interesting people to talk to. And that way, if I get homeless smackheads trying to ask me for money, which happens quite a lot, I don't know why they think that I look like I have money, considering I look borderline homeless most of the time. I can just use the excuse and just say, look, I'm a student, man, I don't have any money, I'm a film student. Unfortunately, there was usually in like the parks, there's also some people like completely covered with balaclavas, and I don't know why they got ski masks or balaclavas on. I'm not quite sure what they're up to. I think it's just to try and look like a bad man. But considering most of them built like toothpicks anyway, don't really find them scary. Alright, we've made it to the Grand Union Canal. Other than the fact that people like to smoke quite a few doobies in these parks, they're pretty chill, to be honest. They're pretty harmless. I think a lot of people are into their weed here, but considering I don't smoke anymore, it doesn't really bother me. I don't feel tempted either. It smells like crap now when I smell it, to be fair. I mean, it is crap, a lot of it anyway. So yeah, let's take a moment to enjoy the ambiance of the canal. It's kind of like stepping back in time. It's like being in the 1990s, in London in the 1990s, from how I remember it. This place I actually do want to try and eat at. It's like some Latino cafe place. Just got a moped in here. You could buy so much old random stuff in here. Or you can even get cowboy hats. Might have to come and get one. Clearly I wanted to finish today's video of an exploration of Leicester in probably the dodgiest looking street that you can get. This is called Short Street. Surprisingly, it's not actually dodgy, it's just where people come to do graffiti, all kinds of street art and murals. Let me know what you guys thought of Leicester. Have I showed you any new places? I was getting attacked by the fence. Or maybe if you've never been here before, do you think you consider visiting? You have yourselves a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.